Hi, hi, hello, welcome everyone. Yeah, can you hear me? Uh, yes. So last Wednesday we had this stream. I couldn't make it on Thursday because my friend came here for Disney vacation. So I just picked him from airport and dropped him at hotel. So my Thursday evening was busy. We spent time together on Epcot for fireworks. Then Saturday I went for South Florida Code Camp. I talked on GraphQL and Nest.js topic, so that went great. So it was like a good session. I think they have more than 1,200 attendees and a lot of sessions. I literally like I. It's a hard time to choose like a which session we need to go, right? Everything is a great sessions. So I went to GraphQL and SJS. I have taken at 950. Then I went for Azure Search, Kubernetes, and Xamarin thing. So I went like a couple of sessions on that, but everything was like a great, and it was a great session on Saturday. Then I spent a weekend on Miami. We had like a good vacation with my family time. So that's why like I couldn't make the stream till last Wednesday. So today we are trying to see like as much as possible. So today only I came from vacation. I was like a super exhausted and tired. So let's see like a couple of things together on Azure functions, in the IoT edge and clean up a couple of solutions whatever we have done so far this week. Then we will keep it as a short stream. Then we can continue from like a next Wednesday. So that's what today planned. So today I'm just going to chill, relax, and give some thoughts like do some cleaning up on this IoT edge solution what we have done so far. So with that plan, let me switch my scenes. Okay, so last time I removed like a couple of modules which is not used. For example, like initially we started this ping and pong module, so we use this ping and pong module to understand like how the communication between IoT edge module works. So I just like removed those things. I keep it with the temperature sensor and the dashboard module itself. Okay, so if I am running this IoT edge solution, it should be running both the temperature sensor module and the dashboard module. Okay. It's cleaning up the Docker and it started running here. In the meanwhile, I need to fix this audio thing. So here it says audio. Okay, audio output is here. That's a sound flower to check. Okay. So desktop audio that is moving. So it's taking my YouTube music thing, and the mic that is also working. I am able to hear that stream in my thing. So the one thing I need to do is audio output. So let me remove this audio output capture. It should be desktop audio. Now I will try to run. No. Is it something with audio? Okay. If I'm increasing this sound and I don't want okay, let me add back the audio output capture. Okay. If I'm increasing this sound and I don't want okay, let me add back the audio output capture. Okay. Properties sunflower to check. Okay. Properties sunflower to check. Okay. I think I'm hearing the sound. Give me a second. I think I'm here. Okay, I think I'm here. Keep as it is. should be hearing both the music and my audio. I will move this OBS. I'm still struggling with like a couple of my streaming setup, but I'm learning as much as I can on this streaming setup. So pardon me for that thing. Okay. So in the meanwhile, this Docker container got built up. So let's run that. Like existing containers, and it's running like it's running in each individual IoT edge module in the separate Docker container. There are like ways, so this is the case, right? If you want to really use that Docker container like a complete IoT edge solution, how you are going to render in the production, then you can go ahead with the Docker container solution or creating this IoT edge container solution. Otherwise, you can just like simply without directly running your machine instead of like running that in the Docker container. The reason we are using the Docker container is like it's totally modular based, and also it's running on the IoT edge runtime that facilitates the communication between Docker containers and communication between container to the IoT hub upstream. So those are the things. It's a benefit to use these containers, and also you can deploy from the remote itself or the cloud itself. So you can manage all your IoT edge deployment either from Azure portal, or you can do it from that Visual Studio Code here for the development purpose. So these things you can do it in your IoT edge device, so that like whenever you are deploying the new modules, then the Docker container will be hosted in the Azure Container Registry that should be pulled into this IoT Edge deployment updates. Then once the update is done, then the IoT Edge runtime will take care of like restarting the Docker container application to get the data. So those things, it's already baked into the IoT Edge runtime. So that's why like we are building this IoT Edge runtime solution with the modules, and all the module is running in the Docker container. Now you can see here like these modules is sending the data. So the temperature sensor, it's sending temperature message, and the dashboard, that is dashboard is nothing but like we are trying to display that in the Raspberry Pi, either 7-inch or 10-inch monitor display. So the idea here is like this is the board watch application, so it's going to continuously read the data from the sensor and display that in a small widget like a temperature widget, humidity widget, or wind direction, wind speed. So these are the different type of sensor data we are trying to read and display that in the React application. So that client is React application. So basically this temperature sensor that is sending data to two places. One is to dashboard, so that like it is showing that temperature sensor data in real time. And the second thing is like it's also sending the data to the IoT hub. So right now like every 5 seconds the temperature sensor is generating the temperature randomly. Right now we didn't connect to like any physical sensors on the device. So the temperature sensor is creating the data randomly and sending to dashboard, and as well sending to the IoT. That's what is happening here. Now what we are okay, so if I'm going to my localhost 3000, that is containing the dashboard application. Is it 3000 or 3001? Okay, it's 3001. So if it is 3001, So whenever the temperature sensor data, this is changing the application. This is changing the data. Right now, I didn't generate a smoothly generated random data. It's generating the random number between 1 to 80 something. So it's varying very drastically. But in the real time scenario, the temperature sensor data will not be varying this much. So I need to adjust that logic so that it will be generating a random smooth number generation step by step. For example, if it is 72 degrees, then probably 73, 74. It should be generating that number or generating the data which is in that gradual way. So that's what I need to do next thing. And also right now I'm using some React application with the scap with the boilerplate generated code. So the next thing I'm trying to plan is create a small widget, the weather widget, that is showing this individual data. So those are the things we need to implement. Okay. So in the meanwhile, today what I'm trying to do is let's do the Azure functions and see how we can implement the Azure functions in this IoT Edge solution here, so that we can understand how we can implement the Azure functions. So the couple of questions I had in my mind in the Azure functions is I'm trying to keep everything in Node.js way. It's not I can use C# thing, but I'm trying to mostly have that in the Node.js stuff, so that couple of things I can still keep everything in the JavaScript environment world. I can do it in the C#, but I like JavaScript more than C# because the couple of things, there are lot of native node modules available to read the sensors, those kind of data. So I'm more comfortable and convenient in doing embedded or this kind of hardware related sensor reading data in Node.js comparatively in the C#, at least for me. So I'm trying to keep everything in C#. So the question is can we use, I already use Azure function Node.js. So my question is can we use Azure function Node.js in IoT Edge solution, because I didn't see any example on Node.js Azure function in IoT Edge. So that thing we will try today. And what are the other things I need to try? So the Azure function is whenever this temperature sends the data, it's going to send the data to dashboard, a React.js application to display that in the real time, and also it's sending to the IoT hub. So what we are going to do right now is we are going to introduce a new module, filter module. So what the filter module is going to do is it's getting all the temperature sensor data into the filter module, and the filter module will send to the IoT hub only when it's crossing above or below the threshold. So that's the idea there. So let me create a IoT Edge module. Deployment template JSON. There are lot of functions. So see here I have only Azure function C# stuff. I didn't see Azure functions Node.js thing here. Okay. So let me try a C# here. Then probably we could be spending some more time on can runtime in this Node.js. Is it making sense, or shall we try right now? Okay. So before that, I will open the docs. Here, Azure functions Node.js. So the functions project, first function index.js, function.json, and this function would be running in like this. Okay. So in this case, Azure functions Node.js yeah, see here, there is a filter message, but that's a code that's not like Azure functions. I think that's a custom module. So here you can see like filter data with Azure function. So sensor sending data and functions here. So this one, let's see, create a function project, and they're having some C# function and building their IoT edge solution. I want to develop this as like a complete Node.js solution only, but I don't mind to add like adding C# code. This can be like even the filtering data. It doesn't necessarily to be the Azure functions. It can be like anything. It can be even like a custom module and listen for the event instead of the functions. So the function is like whenever okay. Azure functions IoT Azure function 2.0 available in IoT Edge. Okay, some restrictions apply here. The only supported language is C# for now. The other languages will follow. I think the Azure function IoT Edge runtime doesn't have JavaScript language Azure functions runtime. They only have this C# thing. Okay, so that's the case. Then I would just keep with like I just keep it with like a Node.js module and filter or filter sensor data or filter sensor module. Add IoT Edge module, deployment template.json, Node.js module, filter sensor data. Okay. So I'm creating like another module here with the filter sensor data. I'm not going to use this Azure functions runtime. I'm just like since JavaScript is not supported in Azure functions IoT Edge runtime yet, so I'm just going to use like a simple Node.js module that's doing the Azure functions business code. In fact, like I don't need to use like Azure functions. Everything is like connected with the messaging architecture, so it might be like another process that's running for the messages to filter. using Azure functions. But in if you are using like C sharp, then you can directly go and create a Azure functions in C sharp and try using that one. I tried using like C sharp because I have done like a both in C sharp and Node.js. So I did like pretty much good development, spent good development time on both C sharp and JavaScript. But the reason I'm going with the JavaScript is like the only reason I'm more comfortable on writing the serial port data and other hardware related sensor data in JavaScript or the Node.js. That's the only reason I'm sticking the IoT projects with the Node.js instead of other languages. Sensor to filter sensor data and temperature sensor to dashboard and filter sensor to the IoT hub. So this one is right, but here the brokered endpoint, it should be going to filter sensor data. So this one is right. Of the dashboard, it should be filter sensor data inputs to the temperature. Okay, so this routing, this makes sense. So what's happening right now is like in the Docker files. So each container, so the Docker file is generated and it's exposing 9229 for debugging purpose. So whenever I am creating a module, I want to debug like a 2 or 3 modules simultaneously. Everything is listening to 9229 port, and that causes running the IoT edge solution. So what I'm doing really is whenever so this is like a real problem. I'm not sure like how we can solve in this Docker world. So all the Docker container is trying to expose the same port. How the Docker container will assign the port, or is there any way where we can pass a dynamic port into our node inspector, so that like it would automatically pick up the immediate available port when there are like 2 or 3 Docker containers trying to debug, right? So I'm not sure about those stuff. So I'm just right now I'm just like changing the data with a different port. For example, here it's a 9229 dashboard and the temperature sensor, that is 9231. Probably this one I will change to 9230. So we have 9229, 9230 and 9231. This one we need to take a look at like why that's happening. Because every time whenever we are changing the Docker container, we are changing the port. That is not looking good, at least right now. Like we are creating the custom containers for our IoT edge solution. But if you think like in the modular based stuff, every container we are trying to pull that is exposing 9229, then that would be creating the problem on running, at least in the debug mode. So we have this edge agent, system modules and modules. So here temperature sensor, dashboard, exposing code to 3001. So that's for running the data. So if you go to the deployment debug template.json, so temperature sensor 9231 and dashboard 9229 and filter sensor data, it should be 9230. So 9230, 9230 here and 9229, 9230. Yeah. So these are the ports we are trying to run, and the route is temperature sensor to filter sensor data, temperature sensor to dashboard, and filter sensor data to IoT. So that's in the deployment debug template JSON. Okay. So if I am trying to run this in the deployment template.json, it should be starting a new filter sensor data Docker container, and all the temperature sensor data that's going to both the dashboard and as well as the filter sensor data. Then once we confirm that is receiving in the filter sensor data, then probably we would be adding our business logic like filtering based on the threshold. So those are the things we would be adding that stuff. Okay. So right now dashboard temperature sensor is sending data to dashboard. That one we are receiving, but why it's not sending to filter sensor data, or maybe it's not handled here. Okay, pipe message. Okay, it's looking for input name input 1 only. So let's say like a temperature input. So let me stop this one and run it again. Probably this time like a deployment debug template.json, so that like I can debug here. Docker container. Let's give few more seconds to build that. Since it's a new container, it's trying to send the building context to Docker daemon. Okay, it's exposing the code 9231 and 9229. It's built all the container. It's asking my sudo password to run the containers. Okay, stopping existing modules. So that one, next time I need to check, like is there a way we can run both on the containers and as well as like without container or from the local machine? So, or in other case, we already have this IoT Edge runtime simulator available. I'm just thinking like, okay, let the IoT Edge runtime simulator available, but instead of using this debug with the Docker, can I run that in local and connect with the IoT Edge runtime? So those are the things I just want to confirm for the development perspective at least, so that we can see. Okay, so the filter sensor data that start receiving this message status, but it's not hitting the endpoint. The reason is I didn't add okay, it has a remote debug, so this is what we need to do. If I hit the debug button using this remote debug, then the Visual Studio Code is going to attach the data with the debugger stuff. So whenever there is a data change, it should be hitting here the breakpoint, so that I can do the debugging from the Visual Studio Code itself. Okay, so here I did the filter sensor data only, right? Yeah. It's coming with this console.log, but it's not hitting the breakpoint. I don't know why. It should be hitting the breakpoint here. Okay, let me restart this. What are these objects? Temperature timestamp. There's no 43 here. Okay. Is there any way? This, okay, so here we are trying to debug with the local thing. Anyway, I don't want this one. I want the remote debug only, so let me disconnect this. Filter sensor data remote debug. We already have the Azure IoT Edge solution is running. So I'm hitting this remote debug. It should be attached with the data. Okay, but the breakpoint is not setting correctly. Let me stop this and run the Docker container again with the deployment debug template.json, so that it would be opening the port and we would be connecting that one with the Docker container. Okay, it's sending the context for Docker daemon. I think once this is done, then we would be adding the logic, and pretty much we would wrap up this thing. Then we would be adding like some more UI widgets into the React application, so that we can display all the sensor data in some 7-inch monitors in the Raspberry Pi. So those things we would be seeing next Wednesday. This week, like we just implement this logic and okay, it start creating. It's removing the existing containers and running the module. Yes. Okay, now you can see here like how the data is coming. Debugger listening to 9230. That's right. Okay, so if I go to the VS Code here, oh, maybe that's the reason. So we don't need this ping module local. We don't have this module, so I'm going to remove this one from our configuration. And temperature sensor 9229, but the temperature sensor is 9231, so I'm going to change to 9231. And the dashboard is 9229 only, so I'm going to leave as it is. Why there is two dashboard remote? Okay, I think one stuff we don't need. And other thing, it's having like a connection string, CA certificate file, everything. And filter sensor data, that is 9230. Okay, now if I try running 9230, then it should be hitting the correct endpoint. Otherwise, what is happening is like it's trying to listen for the different debug port and looking for this source code, so that's why like it has a mismatch. Now you can debug, so the message contains the data, and that data should be containing the temperatures thing. So here client complete temperature input, and the message contains a temperature and timestamp, and that is sending to the output. We already set up the output is like output route to the IoT hub. So that one is sending the data to IoT hub. So now what we are going to do here is um, we are getting the data and filtering that and sending the alert instead of like sending everything to the IoT hub. So what's happening is if I am running this code and start monitoring the message for the IoT hub devices. So here is IoT hub device. So I'm trying to monitoring device to cloud messages. So you can see here the device to cloud message should be always going from the filter data, and it's sending all the data which is coming from the filter sensor data right now. So even it's sending like 43, 10, everything. Now what we are going to do is we are going to implement the logic whenever the temperature is below 20 or below, I think let's keep it as 20. So if the temperature is below 20 and above 70 or 60, then it should be sending the data to the IoT hub. So what I'm going to do is I'm just like disconnect this one and output message, the message. So here I'm going to construct the data json.parse in case message. So if data.temperature is available and if data.temperature is less than or equal to 20 and or data.temperature is greater than equal to 70, then send the output to the IoT hub. And we can get these settings from the IoT hub desired properties, so that like each individual device can set up the settings, device settings. So this can be pulled from the IoT hub device settings as well. But right now, like let's keep it as 20 and 70 here. We will implement that one later. Probably I just move this one to the constant here, temperature low threshold. This is 20 and high threshold is 70 or 60. I don't know what we have used here. 70. Yeah. So here I am saying temperature low threshold and data temperature or greater than high threshold. Then it's going to send the data to the IoT hub. So now if I am stopping this solution and try run that in the Docker container again with the deployment debug template.json, so that we can debug that in the Visual Studio Code. It's stopping all the code and it's trying to rebuild that Docker container. Let's give like a few more seconds as usual. And also I'm going to order like a bunch of sensors from Amazon, so that we can implement that in like a real-time thing using the Raspberry Pi and run the IoT Edge solution. I'm very interested to see like how we can do that, the remote app deployment upgrades without touching the device, and what are the other device settings we can pull from the real-time sensors and the Raspberry Pi, and also a couple of solutions including how the firmware upgrade or how these kind of app deployment, the blue-green deployment. So those are I'm interested in to see like how that's working in the IoT Edge solutions. Okay, let it run this Docker container. Okay, it started running. It's removing this and creating the network and starting. Okay, here it's doing all this stuff. So in the meanwhile, I just open the debug and click the filter sensor data remote debug. So it hit the breakpoint here. Now you can say like data temperature is 58. So it should be skipping sending to the IoT hub, and data temperature is 2 here, that is less than 20. Now it's sending the data to the IoT edge. So let me remove this breakpoint. Let's do this thing. Start monitoring device to cloud message. Okay, I think first I need to stop that and right click start monitoring device to cloud. Now it should be sending the data only if it is exceed the threshold limits. So the temperature is 4, so it exceeds 15, it exceeds, that means it's less than the low threshold. 7. But in the meanwhile, like there are data that is if it is falling under this threshold limits, you can see the data. So to see the data, I think this is the remote output. Okay, if it is greater than 70, it's wrong. But to see the data, let's open our dashboard, that is localhost 3001. It's 3001, right? 3000 or 3001? It says, is it stopping here? No, but you can see like there are different temperature data that is coming from the dashboard here. In the meanwhile, I will just look and see here why that localhost 3000 not working. What it says? Okay, some Docker container settings, it's not okay. Let me stop this one and start this one with the deployment template.json. I think there is something here. So the deployment template.json, the host config, it's exposing 3001. In the deployment debug, okay, so this is not exposing the port. That's why. That's the reason it just exposed the debug port. So I need to change that as well here. Like it's 9229, it should be exposing 3001 as well, and the port bindings besides 9229, it should be containing 3001. So this one is like it's exposing the 3001 port. That's where our web application or the React application to display that in the monitor, in the Raspberry Pi monitor. So we are it's not exposing that port, so that's why like localhost 3001 is not reached when we try to debug with the deployment.debug.template.json. So right now, like we have changed that code, and this one is running the deployment.template.json, I think. Yes, So it's removing this thing. Let's run it. Okay, now if I go to localhost 3001, then it should be opening the React application. Yes, so you can see like the temperature is data that is like a 42, 65, something like that. But whenever it's like either below threshold low or above threshold high, then it's sending the data to the IoT hub. So it's not like always sending the data to IoT hub. It's having the control like when to show, because we are having that logic in the filter sensor data here. Okay, I think that would be cool. So you can monitor here to see like how that goes. So only less than 20 and greater than 70, that only going to the IoT hub. Yeah. Okay, so this is fine. So today we see like Azure functions. We cannot implement it in JavaScript. Only C# is allowed right now. But I think I'm just running like a custom module which is doing the same logic how Azure functions work. So the temperature sensor data that is sending the data to dashboard, and filter sensor data. Dashboard is for displaying the data, and filter sensor data is going to add some business logic into your sensor data before sending that to the IoT hub. So those things we have take a look at today. Let me add that in the GitHub pretty quick. So git add adding filter sensor data logic. So the next Wednesday, that means like day after tomorrow, we probably focus on creating the React application widgets to show that the sensor data. I think that way we are more focused on creating a minimum MVP project, like how everything works to see like from end to end. So let's see. And also we have this boat customization model, so we need to include that as well here, so that like we probably simulate the camera picture, or we simulate that image library, and it would be continuously sending the data to the customization, and try to predict and display that in the dashboard application or the UI application. So the idea here is like this Raspberry Pi device, that's a boat watch reference application. So it's going to sit in your marine drive or sit in your harbor. It's continuously monitoring the boat type and the classification, or even try to read the text from that boat. And it's showing like the real-time sensor data, including temperature, humidity, wind speed, those kind of things. So that way like we pretty much cover every um, topic in IoT edge, and we try to simulate those stuff with those things, with the sensors and other camera related stuff. So that's the plan. So I push that one. So next time we will see with the React widget data. Okay, how to do refresh or reload window. Okay, so in the meanwhile, I need to do some more research as well, but let's do it on Wednesday. I need to see like how we can connect the IoT edge devices with IoT Central and all. So let's see it on Wednesday. So today we have added a more filter sensor logic, and we implemented the custom business logic to filter the data to sending to the Azure IoT hub. Okay, guys, thank you. So, if you get a chance to watch this video later, please come by and network. So we would learn together on this IoT solutions, and then probably like in future we would be learning like a different technologies in the similar fashion. Go through the documents and trying to implement our own reference application and see how we can implement that in the real time project stuff. So those are the things I want to say. Thanks for coming and watching, and have a great week ahead. Thank you.